Hey, can someone turn up the handheld thing just a little bit? There's a button that says handheld back there. Yeah, Jim, you get it? Thanks. Anyways, welcome. We are live from LA2M. How's everybody doing today? Great. So my name is Derek Reveln. Thanks, Jim. I'm CEO of Ingenix Digital Marketing, and I am up here with Stacy Collett of Dollarville Printing, which is a local digital print house. And Stacy's wearing the LA2M shirt, rocking the brand colors. And you are at LA2M, which is a marketing education 501c3 nonprofit. Is there first-timers? Any first-timers at LA2M? Can I see a hand? Okay, welcome. Welcome, folks. Thanks for coming. Glad you found us. LA2M does meet every Wednesday, except for Christmas and certain Jewish holidays. So every Wednesday we're here. And we have great speakers, and the format is everybody does get to introduce themselves at the end of the program, and the speaker talks usually on a marketing topic, and there's some time for Q&A possibly. So we are a 501c3 organization, which means we're a nonprofit, so there's no dues or anything, no fees. If you want to have lunch, it's $10, and the menus are on the table. That goes to Conor O'Neill's. If you want to help support us, we pass the hat. So you're welcome to throw $3, $5 in the hat. This covers our hard costs and expenses and our administrative fees. So we have one employee. So Mary Lou, who checks you in every week, is wonderful. So she is our employee. We've been a volunteer organization for the past since 2008. That's a lot of years. So we do all volunteer. Like Carter volunteers to take the photos. Stacy is our volunteer treasurer. Roger Rayle is our volunteer videographer, and we live stream every program. Bob Shannon is our volunteer CPA. Lauren and Aaron are volunteer tweeters. I mean, we all volunteer. We're also sponsor supported. So we have sponsors, and you see these cards on your table. The Visual Literacy Conference is coming up, and Tom Crawford is our sponsor this month. And Tom, you want to say a couple words about the conference?
Thanks, Eric. So you see the cards on the table. It is almost 2 weeks away. We have some amazing speakers signed up for this. We just finalized, I think, our last one today, which is Brandy Agerbach from Chicago. She is a visual note taker. So she'll teach you how to take notes more effectively using visuals rather than just linear notes, which will be awesome. And as this is the last week that I'm sponsoring, month's over. Who believes that? So this is the last chance, today only, 50% off if you put LA2M in as the discount code when you go to the website. So check it out.
Right. Thanks, Tom. Tom also built the Happy Hour Deals app. So if anyone's into Happy Hour, you should search for that in the Apple Store. Actually, LA2M has an app too, LA2M to go. So just download it for your iPhone. We only do iPhone, but if you have an iPhone, get the LA2M to go app. It's fun. And let's see, any of the business we should talk about? Not really. Okay, we have a LinkedIn group. We have a Facebook page. Follow us on Twitter, LA2M. You can check in here on Foursquare, if anybody's still Foursquares. And I'm going to be in Florida next week, so I apologize. I won't be here. You won't be here? All right, Mary Lou, will you be here? Thank God Mary Lou will be here. All right. I'm sure somebody else will be here too. And I'm sure we have a good speaker. So anyways, you want to present the t-shirt real quick? This is our gift to our speaker.
So wear it to work tomorrow.
Yeah.
Wear it to work tomorrow.
You have to hold it up.
Yeah, we got to get the money shot. So Carter takes all these pictures like this, and they're all up on the Facebook page. Yeah, so you can go like that picture there. Tag yourself in the pictures. And as Charlie Wahlberg talked about, tag yourself in your Facebook photos for better results. But today we're talking about Twitter. And today we have Deb Nystrom from Reveln Consulting. And she's going to talk about her amazing journey and how to become really a Twitter rock star. So that's enough for me. So why don't we give a round of applause to welcome Deb Nystrom to LA2M.
I'm turning on two cameras because this is part of my journey and I will speak about this. Let's see. Two different kind of cameras. And wow, what an evolution in video from the one to the other. There we go. Let's make it go. Is it going? Is it blinking?
Yes.
It's blinking! Yay! That's the signal. So I'm glad to be back here. This is the third time I've been before you all, and I am not by profession a marketer, but I've made it a part of who I am. And I think the very first presentation I ever did for LA2M is I mentioned that marketing, one of my first beloved bosses, supervisors at the university says, I don't know what it is about you, Deb, but you've got marketing in your bones. You just do. And I found that it is just incredibly enriching to the whole system of how you do business. And when social media arrived on the scene, because of the kind of social person that I am, I just inhaled it. I inhaled it. It was just, wow, what is this thing? And back then there was a lot of mistrust. I didn't really like Facebook. I didn't really know what to make of it all. But I discovered Twitter, and Twitter was the social media platform that kicked off the whole thing. So I want to tell you that story. The other thing I want to tell you is this morning I got a call at home from somebody I didn't know, and it's someone who has been home with children, and she's re-entering the workforce, and her name came to her, my name came to her through the Grapevine network, and I said, sure, I'll be glad to tell you about that whole process. So I gave her a couple references to start with before we meet. And she said, oh, I was going to come, but, you know, I'm not into Twitter. I said, the stuff that I'm talking about today applies pretty much to all social media. All social media. A lot of these rules and techniques, there's some that are specific to Twitter because of how unique Twitter is. But the principles apply to just about everything. So you're going to be able to use it in a lot of ways. So what I want to start with, searching. And I want you to know that it's nice to take a few adventures when you speak locally to the community here. My adventure is, this is the first time I've used Prezi. Prezi is a kind of cool technique, and some of you know it, and you're going to see it in action, so that's something we can talk about online. I will put a blog post out later on Reveln, probably on one of my Tech Tuesdays that I do every so often, and I'll talk about Prezi. What I want to do is get right to the nugget of this and talk about, I'm using an acronym. The last time I used an acronym I think it was 2 presentations ago for LA2M. Yeah, thank you. I don't know how to turn it off. Is that I used fear not. And the F stood for fit. Is that find the type of social media that best fits you. And listen in that social media, and still doing that. I'll turn the sound out. I don't think I did the sound out. There we go. Find the kind of social media that fits you. However, you can use Twitter even if you don't ever tweet, even if you don't ever have an account, to do wonderful research and learn a lot about what is very current, what's going on out there. So there's a lot that you can get from Twitter. So the first part of this acronym, and it's going to be LLPCR. It doesn't have a fancy acronym to go with it. But if you want to create something, let's see, lovely lips provide creative response. Okay, just come up with some kind of fun acronym or whatever. But I'm going to define each one of these. So the first one, which kicked off the way that I entered social media way back when, is the word listen. And I'm going to give you a little extra with that. It's actually listen and learn. It's actually 2 words together. So add an extra L in there. The first one is listen. Learn from the best is underneath. And the way this happened is at the top there, you'll see Roger, our illustrious streaming video guru. He's in the middle. This is where I was back in 2008 before I left the big university. And I knew that I was going to be making a transition soon. I could feel it. And I was preparing things. I was looking at, creating my own website, figuring out, all the things I need to do to transition into being an independent. I'm still working, still have my salary and that kind of thing. And we worked at a startup together, Roger and I and this team. We worked on a startup that went through 2 iterations. We were familiar with Ann Arbor Spark. We got some funding from Ann Arbor Spark. David Bloom knows us. We met with him. And I found out I was the nominated marketing person because the marketing was in my bones. I knew very little about social media. It was just emerging on the scene. And what I did is I started to tweet, and a lot of it felt like shouting out into the air where nothing was happening. No response, there was no communication. I had at DN Reveln, I would talk about things, nothing back. It just was a lot of nothing. And I thought, well, this is frustrating. I just don't get this Twitter. You know, what do I do with this? But then I kept at it, and I started to pay attention to people who were very good at picking up some things about social media. I started to read, and I started to listen to what they were saying on Twitter and in other forms of social media that I came across. And lo and behold, I heard about something called a tweet up. And this is in 2008 when I was just barely into it and I couldn't stand Facebook. I was starting to participate. I thought, how can I do this marketing? I don't get this. But I felt something, I felt it, is that, Deb, you need to go to this tweet up. Whatever you do, go to the tweet up. In Novi, by myself, didn't know anyone, drive from Ann Arbor out to Novi, and what happened was that this is the group. It's going to take a minute to. The group on that photo that you just searching. Yeah, I think I'll need to keep touching this. Okay. What you see there on my left, on my right, your left, is Chris Brogan. Okay. Does anyone know who he is? Mega influencer, national, maybe international. And this was in 2008. He's much bigger now. He has many followers, but he's very generous. I learned a lot from him. He was at this tweet up. It was a small group. Ken Burberry. Some of you may know him. He's a digital strategist, okay? And there I am with my little startup learning about marketing and talking about Twitter. That's what we were talking about that night, Twitter. It was new on the scene. And you see the person in the lower right here? Victoria Pater. She designed the logo on those business cards that I've scattered around at the ends of the table because I knew that design and visual impact is very important. If you need to be convinced about visuals and photos and video and seeing things, just listen to Charlie Kerr from last week. Okay, because that's what it's about. And you're going to see it in this presentation. And Twitter is a wonderful way to leverage visual images because you just need a little URL that takes people somewhere. And if it says Instagram, it's kind of cool. People want to see it. And there's other things that people want to see. So anyway, this was my kickoff. And Victoria and I have stayed connected. I want to read to you something that she sent to me. This was back in 2008. So she helped me, number one, I needed a good logo. Number two, she helped me find a good website guy that got me launched under really tight circumstances, and that's another story. And it's been a wonderful platform for me today. So part of what happens with Twitter is that you make connections and you create a system for yourself. You create a system among people that like you. Okay, first they get to know you, and some of you have heard of this. First they get to know you, and then they decide if they like you. And then there's the aspect of trust. And that can happen through a Twitter connection, because I didn't know any of those people. There they are, and years later I'm still connected with them. So let me read you this. Okay. I have it in my docs. All right, where'd you go? Here we go. Okay, so I asked for permission, and she gave me permission this morning because I emailed her last night. So Victoria Pater, great designer, by the way, is in Chicago, but she wants to come back to Detroit. Okay, Victoria Pater says, okay, 2013. Hi, ladies. I hope you are both well and your holidays rock. She's introducing me to someone. Deb, I've been meaning to introduce you to a great friend of mine, Leslie. I've changed her name because I didn't ask her permission. So, Leslie, we went to a certain university together back in the day before she went on to another university for grad school. She's currently working for a nonprofit in Southeast Michigan, this area that matches job seekers with employment opportunities. Leslie, Deb is a lot of things. As a consultant, she facilitates change by helping company organizations with strategy, team leadership, group coaching. She's also the queen of social media. That's her words. Okay. I'm reaching out because Leslie is working on a speaker series that focuses on business development topics for area businesses, matching businesses with people looking for jobs, yada, yada, yada. I'm on their speaker schedule. Okay, now why did I say all that? One of the things I realized as I went through my evolution is, and this may apply to some of you, is the very thing that you might be resisting is the thing you need to do, okay? And social media may be a means of that happening. So the thing I was resisting is going out on the speaker circuit. I was fighting it. I'm not a motivational speaker, I'm a consultant. I'm an executive coach, I'm a leadership coach, I'm a this, I'm a that, whatever. But it's like, you know what? You need to get out there and connect with people and get in front of people. And that's actually what this picture is about, because I found I'm a natural connector. You can be too in a way that works for you. Whether you have introversion or extroversion, you're finding people that know, first of all, they have to know you, and then they figure out if they like you for who you are, and then it's about the trust. Okay? So listen and learn. What happens in the listen and learn part is that's where you figure out your own sense of what do you want to put out to the world that fits you. What fits you in social media? And Twitter was a means of this happening. Okay, so next. I recommend, based on my experience, 2 forms of social media if you're going to do social. And you figure out what it is. So you could take all of this Twitter and replace it with something else. It could be Facebook, it could be LinkedIn, whatever it is. I'm going to focus on Twitter because that's what this is about. But when you add 1 plus 1, sometimes you get 3, sometimes you get 5, just because people will share things, because that's what social is. So these are some things that I found useful in leveraging social. So use Twitter plus a photo that's on a blog post, because photos are very important, and you'll see that is why visuals are so important, and also the video. But a photo with a blog, you can take Twitter, use an URL, and put the 2 together. Twitter plus Instagram. Very, very hot right now. Anyone here that does 2 Instagrams of me today, I will meet with you for coffee afterwards, or we can talk on the phone. Just let me know you took 2 Instagrams of me today, and there we go, 15 minutes with me. It could be coaching, it could be consulting, whatever you like. Okay. I have a ton of stuff on Flickr. And when I do my Google Analytics, which is a way of seeing who really visits your blog and what are they paying attention to and what keywords are they using, I'm finding that Flickr for my audience is a big deal. Very visual. I have all kinds of things on there. You'll see an example later on in the presentation. Again, visual images, very, very helpful. The iPhone. Video is very, very big in search. So what I have here are 2 video cameras. So this is the one that I got a few years ago. This is a Panasonic Lumix HD camera. I think it was 150 bucks or whatever. Maybe more than that, maybe it's 200. And it's got a 16 gig chip in it. So it can just run and run and run and fill it up, and then I can edit it later. This, which is the size of 2 of my iPhones I bought a couple weeks ago, and I can stick it in my purse and go clubbing if I were to do such a thing. But this is so light and so small, it can fit into a small purse. And that's just how much they're changing. Who knows how tiny it'll be next time. HD video, easy to work with, highly recommend. Spend $100, get a really great camera, and the audio is so great on it that someone that I know who specializes, who's almost has a PhD in music, didn't want any video recordings of their performances at this big church where he conducts music down in Detroit. But when he heard the audio on that camera, it says, we're putting it on our website. Okay, that's great. And I did it because he was a friend. It's another way that networks happen. So that's Twitter plus video. Twitter plus an action link. So that means something is going on. It might be a tweet up, or it might be LA2M is happening, but just something is happening, and that attracts people. So something that creates a sense of action. Twitter plus news. There's an accident. Remember, Twitter is very current. It's like a stream that flows and then it's gone. That's what's unique about Twitter. So I'll drop another name, Scott Monty, who's at Ford. I heard him speak over at Spark. I was relieved to hear him say that Twitter is a way where you can dip your toe in and listen for a while. And all the listening and learning that goes on throughout. This is not sequential. They are all like a grid. They all overlap. So listening and learning while you're also leveraging. Okay? So dip your toe in to the Twitter stream, because he's got a big brand that he deals with that's Ford, and listen and learn and update yourself. So, Oh, I'll talk about this in a minute. This is recent. The other thing that's typical is a blog link. Send people to your blog. If you have photos and visuals and all that kind of stuff, so much the better. When possible, try to do the stuff in this order, because if you have a blog without the interesting stuff, whoosh, it disappeared again. Oh, thank you. Thank you. So try to have something that is visually attractive to people, and I believe on Twitter.com they have ways that you can see photos and stay within Twitter, and if they like what they see, they may click on it and off they go to your site. So a blog link is a little bit further down. Above all, keep listening. Keep listening. And the reason that I say that, let's look at the two people down here. The Listen and Learn, Dad Report. If you don't know anything about Twitter, she has a big presence in Twitter. She runs the Social Media Manners tweet chat. You can get an account, but not tweet, but just go and listen to the tweet chat. You can find the transcript. She has a Facebook page, but you can learn all about social media manners in Twitter from her. And she and I connected because there's all kinds of things that happen in social media, and this can be a little scary to people, that happen in real life, such as bullying. Okay? She blogs about this, so you can learn from her, and she's very, very generous. I highly recommend her. And she and I have been in contact. I'm on her Facebook page, all kinds of good stuff. Jennifer Abernathy, she has written, I think, Social Media for Dummies book. She does webinars, and she's the one where I learned the term person-to-person, because that's what I was experiencing, person-to-person connection, which is what Twitter is great at. Which brings me to this piece here is our former governor. I was engaged in a live webinar with this political stuff, which I only talk about on my one chatty Twitter persona, which is Reveln. And I decide I'm just going to be who I am. Okay, so politics or things I believe in, if you want to know the real me, go there. The other side of me, which is the business side where I take all that stuff out, is Reveln Consults. Okay, so the word Reveln, it's on the cards or on the table, that's the professional side. And I keep those kind of separate. I tweet a little differently in those two streams. Here, I'm using myself, and notice that a member of her staff, could be, I don't know if it was the governor, she was on stage at the time, but it was retweeted by Jennifer Granby. And on the top 10 lists of top tweeters in the country, Barack Obama is number 5. Okay? And I tweeted him last night too. I also looked at all the stuff people were saying about him and was like, whoa! You can find out a lot about what's going on with politics, just kind of seeing what's going out there in the Twitter stream. And you may want to be there, maybe not, but it's interesting. So there are ways to build relationships with this kind of thing. Now, here's the thing about leverage. I recently was able to kind of seal a deal for a colleague of mine who has thrown work my way, was able to throw work back his way. We've worked collaboratively in the consulting network because a client that works at a very, very, very large company who works in big data was very interested in the work we were doing because she found that I was connected to a mutual mentor. If any of you know the late Kathy Dannemiller, this is about whole-scale change. This is one of my specialties. Well, she's a big fan. And she exists on Twitter because she has some famous people that she knows, and that's where they communicate, okay? So you only, in my profession, you only need a few big connections, and you're busy for a while. So I was able to repay the favor with this colleague of mine because I introduced the two of them, and we met face-to-face in a cafe nearby and set up some business for him. So again, it's the system. It's the way that you help each other. It's your networks. And Twitter is where she was. So think about where are your clients, where are your networks, and where are your influencers? It's not just clients, it's all three. And Twitter can be something that can give you the inside story on that. Okay. Oh, let's see. Did we cover everything here? I think we did. All right. Now, next. Item number 3 is personality. I mentioned in number 1 the listen and learn about fit. Figure out who you are. If you're still figuring that out, go get someone, get together the wolf pack, whatever it is, figure out who you are and who you're going to be to the world in a business sense, and how you're going to display yourself in social media to be interesting, to be awesome, to be remarkable in a way that fits you. And that doesn't mean you have to be extroverted. We all have an extroverted, introverted side. I'm Jungian, I can explain that to you. I can even diagram it. But figure out who and what and how, all those journalistic questions, how is your personality going to be out there? There's one example of that I'd like to give, and that's the reluctant networker. Some of you know this person, okay? That would be someone different than me, okay? So think about it. There's lots of people that have different styles out there. Look at those and think about which of those fit you. All right, so here's what I decided to do. This is a composite of my personal side, and this is how I enter the local kind of network here. These are Instagram pictures, all of them except one. So way over there is the Matawi tile. And if you here last week, we had a Matawi tile person here, and I said, I just go work out at the U of M up on the 9th floor in the gym, and I love the tile work. And I do that because I think it's interesting. Well, some other people do too. And why not support our local businesses, things that are cool? So I have a whole series of this Matawi tile because I just think it's pretty. And I like to put it out there, and some other people do too. I also like to eat. So, I like to put some food out there and support our local restaurants. Of course, when I'm eating, then I need to go work out. So that's me on the Step Circle track. And some people like that, people that are into fitness. And then this is obviously what I do after I've done working out, is going out to happy hour. This is actually our Teenie with the Arts Center. Our Teenie happens every year. It's a very fun event. We did a bunch of tweeting. It's very social. A lot of townies go to that. But then, of course, I have to go to church the next day. But I also sing in a choir with the Lutherans in Detroit, and people are interested in that. And then afterwards, that group went over to Sinbad's in Detroit and had mimosas. So anyway, this is just a piece of personality. You may not want to do those type of photos, or you might find them interesting, but figure out what part of you would you like to share with the world so people know who you are, and if they like you, and if they want to trust you in whatever it is that you do. Okay? You decide that. This last one here is from Flickr. I have a folder on Flickr that's full of my work photos. And when you see a lot of people that you don't know, it's less interesting. It just is, I think. However, if you're researching a consultant and you're ready to see a lot of pictures of Deb doing her stuff with clients, then you might want to go to that folder and see what's happening. Only at that point, but not early on. And that's what's cool about Twitter, is you're kind of just sharing a little piece, and then if people decide they're interested, they might follow the breadcrumbs. And Twitter is very good for that. All right. Now, this is my webpage, and you can see the Reveln, the logo design that is like a brand. And the brand is everything. It's not just the logo. It's all of this stuff. It's the digital footprint. It's who you are. It's your personality online. It's what you present to the world. So here is my services page. I couldn't stand to look at this last night. It was all that text. I don't like it. So I put that photo in. And you can see what a difference it makes just to add a little photo. Imagine if it had a video in it. Well, if you go to my website, you'll see I have lots of videos, I have lots of photos, but this page needs work. Okay? All right, so I'm going to pause for a minute. Are there any questions about what I've covered so far? You think about your sense of getting into social media, the listening, the learning, the leveraging. Yes?
And maybe just more for some people in the room, not understanding exactly all of Twitter. You talked about the connecting stuff. How did you get there? How did you connect with those people? I know you said some meetups, but if you find someone just through Twitter, maybe you could jump back a slide where there was a couple of those, where you had the retweets, and maybe some people don't understand exactly where that came from.
Okay. How many of you, the whole thing about retweets? Okay. How many of you want to learn a quick minute on retweets? Yeah, okay. Just need to see a few hands up. Okay, so what I'll suggest on the Social Media Learning Lab, which is a site I have up that'll be up till, I think it's April 30th, when Poster shuts down, because that's a Poster-built site. I do talk a bit about basics of Twitter. Retweeting is where you take somebody else's content and use the term RT, retweet, and you share it because you find it interesting. You're actually taking some of their content and retweeting it using your Twitter account. And you're basically saying, I like what you said, RT, and then what's really good is to put just a short little comment or phrase or like, way cool, or awesome, or I don't agree, or whatever it is, just whatever you can fit in, and try to do it within roughly about 110 characters. You don't have much time, so if you're really going to commit to Twitter, you've got to learn how to be short, concise, and punchy, and cute, and fun, and all that kind of stuff. And it can be done if you're listening and learning. All right, so retweet is one way that you connect with someone, and they may reach out back to you and say thank you. And then you might follow each other, and then it may go on from there, especially if you meet in person and find this person that you've been tweeting with. So that's how I made the connection with Ken Burberry, is that I was learning from his tweets, and I was in that Twitter stream, and that's how I heard about the tweet up, and that's how I met Victoria. I mean, that's how all of that happened. Okay. Does that help a little bit? Now, the basics of Twitter 101 I'm not going to cover today. I'm talking more about connecting. However, if you search Twitter basics, or you go to Dabney Port's site, you can learn, she's got good material on how to start with Twitter. Okay, so retweeting, social media manners, I highly recommend, so you learn how to do it right. And then it's a friendly community with her tweet chats where you can just learn from others. Okay. Any other questions right at this point about that? Thank you for the question. Okay. Let's do community. Community. All right, so being personal, professional, and I have these two personas, which I explained to you. At DN Revel is my chatty side, and I will send people there if they want to really talk on Twitter. And at Reveln Consults is where I put some blog posts and I share retweets, and it's more of a professional nature. So that's the personal and professional. The financial and the network comes from your community, the system that you create, and social can really help that. In fact, tomorrow I'm going to be meeting up with Betty Brigade person, Sharon McGrill, and she and I connected, earlier this week, and I was working something out with a community that I'm trying to figure out myself, and she gave me some insights, and I don't really know her that well. She doesn't know me that well, but we're going to meet in a meeting that I created, and she connected with me on Twitter. So for her, that works, and that's a local person who's very well connected. It's another example that's very current of how that kind of thing works. This community, what it says here is be helpful, do something for the other person, ask for nothing in return, and that's from Chris Brogan. Okay, and that's why he is so big. Very, very generous, so much to learn from him. Really personifies that. And I think LA2M is a great example too. There is so much great digital information. If you mine the site and look at those presentations, look at the tweets. Even if you don't even show up here, if you just go and spend some time on the site, it's just a treasure trove. It's very, very rich. It's all categorized. Derek's done a great job with that. Now we look at some of this, and I talk about my community. That picture up there, the social media curation, whatever, that is a workshop that happened after my first presentation here at LA2M back in 2010. I was talking about this new blogging platform called Posterous. I was so geeked about it. At the time, I had 9 blogs. Now, as I leave Posterous, I have 20. And I use them for research. I use them for private stuff. I use them to teach social media courses. I've actually had paid courses, 6 or 7 weeks, 8 weeks, where coaches and consultants came, paid me money, and I used Posterous to teach the course over those 7 or 8 weeks. So that started way back in 2011 by just thinking about what tools would help me do what I need to do to help people and be useful that they would pay for to give me a sense of this whole social media thing. It's not the main thing I do, but it helped me understand marketing. And then I can apply that to my mainline business when I'm much smarter about it. This woman up here in the red, she's the coach that got me going with the Social Media Learning Lab because I sat at lunch the second day of a coaching conference that I didn't even know I wanted to be at, and then I decided I really like these people, and I like them, and they seem to like me, and that's where the Social Media Learning Lab started, is that she helped me kick it off. And she's a person with influence. So through her friends and through connections, I filled up classes. I was almost ready to do a big webinar this past January and started another whole big thing with it. And I said, you know what, I'm done with this. My main focus is consulting and coaching. Social media is just going to be my hobby job. That's why I'm here today. But I do want to use it to help people and share. So I backed away from it, but for a time it's been great to help me learn the craft. Oh, I'm sorry about all the noise there. I guess things are happening with Twitter land.
Everyone's tweeting.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Then here, these are all the communities that I've started to build as a result of starting back with LA2M in 2010. The coach is over here with Diana Wong. I don't know if any of you know her, but she runs Shifting Gears. She's connected with a statewide employment shifting program, and I do some coaching to support what she's doing. She's with the coaches that met here in Ann Arbor at Moonwings last week. And in May, we're going to be offering free coaching in town, and you can better believe I will be talking about social media, including Twitter. Is that there will be some free coaching that people can take advantage of to learn about what coaching is, and that's why Diana Wong was there, so leverage some of that. This is some of the other work that I've done. I used Twitter to get to Las Vegas, okay? Now, that wasn't initially my intent, but I made a connection with this woman in green over here, and her name is Liz, and I did a video online wherever, she's from California, but we connected online initially through Twitter and then her website, and then I said, you know what, I'm building a website with a colleague on Change, can I interview you? It's like, yeah, sure, can I put it on a video? Of course she would approve it, so like, sure, she was tickled. So I met her at a conference in 2011. By 2012, I'm on a global change conference panel because of her in Las Vegas, okay? She invited me, we worked together, and that was because of Twitter. All right, so are you seeing how the system develops? That's called systems thinking, is figuring out, are there pieces and parts here where we can all help each other? It's like nobody's saying, yeah. Are you feeling it at least? Can you see how the system, yeah, some of you are not, can you feel it? Okay, because it's not, you know, it's not step by step. I said these things work kind of like a grid. Okay, now the response. This was a big learning for me, is what is your most wanted response? You know, that's a marketing term, most wanted response. So I'm looking to earn some money, have some fun, do what I love to do. And I found that my most wanted response was not necessarily someone calling me up and saying, hey, Deb, can you come and facilitate, or can you come coach this group, or whatever. I found it really wasn't that. It was, hey, Deb, can you come and speak to this group that I'm a part of? Can you come and enter my community? You know, can I, build the relationship with you and get to know you better? And when I think about the work that I did back at the university for about 22 years, it all started with a small little connection, a small little job that led to a bigger job, that led to a bigger job, till I was working with maybe a client for 2 or 3 years. And it's the same here. And so the most wanted response I realized, and I stopped fighting it, is I need to get out and start speaking to the key group that really can use the work that I do. So what you'll notice under that group here of 5 people with Liz is there's that little thing called Deb's Upcoming Speaking Events. That is a new little link on my website, on the front page of my website, and I filled that because of the connections I was able to develop through social media, helping me enrich my network. And now I have a speaking list through October, including a statewide conference, and I will be speaking at those various places. So one of the things I'd like to offer to you is that the material that I'm covering today was part of a program that I gave for the West Michigan Coaches Forum, and for them I gave them a handout. And the tool that I gave them was only 3 letters. I'm giving you 5, really 6. There's an extra L in there. But the tool I gave them was LCR. And the title here is 3 Crucial Elements to Turn Social into Business. And that's the title of the program that I did for the West Michigan coaches. And I did an open space, and you can find all that stuff. You can find what we talked about. You can find the stuff that they came up with during open space, which is a large group method to share ideas with each other. And to me, that personifies social media. So I had a lot of fun with that group, and this handout was a handout I gave to them. So if you go to Reveln Consulting to my tools page, you can download it. Okay, it's 1 page. Now what I would love is to hear from you, because that's what social is. So either on Twitter or on a blog post or in LinkedIn or wherever you can find me, you just Google my name, you look for Reveln, and then just tell me what you think about this stuff, and we can talk about it. And the other part of it is, don't keep it just there. Start talking to other people about it, because that's what I learned from the best. LA2M, Dabney Laporte, Chris Brogan, is that when you share it, you also validate it, and then you know if it's working for you because you can start to feel it, and then you can get logical, saying, is this bringing me what I want? Do I feel like I'm going in the right direction? Or do I need to stop doing something? And for me, it was, I need to stop doing the classes, the social media learning labs, because that's not number one for me, that's number 3. Okay? And so when I moved into my number 1 with the speaking circuit, I filled my speaking schedule. So it's a little bit of, some listening to the unconscious side of yourself, the deep intuition, and it's also listening to your network and learning from them. Okay? So, that is it. That's the formula. What questions do you have?
This is sort of a beginner's question. I hesitated before, but to retweet and add a comment, as you know, you need Hootsuite, which I believe is starting to charge. That was my impression. Or TweetDeck.
Yes.
What do you
How do I actually do the Twitter stuff? Okay, I love Hootsuite, but I also learned it has a limitation. It misses tweets. So if somebody mentions you, it may not capture it. So, there can be limitations about this. And the way that I learned about it is from the person who helped me actually last night and the day before, the person helped me with my website, Red Crew on Twitter. She said, Deb, did you know that it misses tweets? So you have to go on twitter.com. So I actually use Hootsuite. Some people use TweetDeck to do kind of a broad scope, like what's happening in scan, because it's all headlines with all kinds of links and everything. And I go and scan and I kind of sense, which of these do I pay attention to for what I'm trying to do today? Like, what's my goal? And I read all of that. But then I go to twitter.com to really check and see if anybody's replying to me with the little ad about sign. There's a place on twitter.com with your Twitter ID that will help you find who's replying to you, and it's fail-safe. So as long as Twitter's up and running, which has been pretty reliable for a long time, you'll find everything. Okay? And then the other thing is, if you want to go deep into Twitter, is to go to some of the Twitter sites that the people who, that's their business. All Twitter, there's a website that's called All Twitter. There's bunches of them. You could go maybe to All Top, which is a blog, and look at social media and find out who the Twitter specialists are. I'm not a Twitter specialist. I'm very broad in social media. I'm talking about Twitter today just to say it's been very useful to me. But find a way to make it work for you if you're going to spend time with it, and just live with it for about 3 or 4 months and see if you're getting the kind of returns on it and you're able to use the tool successfully, and then you can stick with it. The other thing is, I don't use it all the time. When I go to conference, I love to use Twitter. And then I might actually not be in Twitter for a while if I got a lot of stuff happening, but then I'll come back and kind of pick up my connections and say, hi, I'm back, kind of, because 15 minutes later, 20, if you're not in the Twitter stream, it's like, where'd you go? And you have to kind of pick that up again. So that's one thing to remember. Did that answer your question? Okay.
So I use TweetDeck on my desktop and my laptop and on my phone, and I guess TweetDeck is going away on mobile. So what's the replacement you're going to use?
Me? I don't use TweetDeck. Hootsuite hasn't charged yet. I do like to use Twitter on my iPad because it's easy to work with. And actually, when I'm sitting there watching a show that might have a commercial in it, maybe, I love to be on my iPad because I find it very easy to use. So the regular Twitter application on my iPad and the Hootsuite application on my iPad is fine. So far, those two are good. Still, using Twitter.com is my mainstay. Always double check there. One quick check a day. I know Red Crew webmaster Deborah Nystrom. I think she checks Twitter.com several times a day because she's a web designer and she relies on her Twitter connections, and that's a system that works for her. So that work for you, Roger?
Anybody else? We have time for one more question.
Yeah,
Behind you.
Okay, great job, Arbor.
Thanks.
Quickly for a newbie that doesn't use Twitter.
Uh-huh.
what book do you recommend to really get into to get the feel of it and know what to do with it?
What book? You know, when I did my very first social media learning lab, and you know, it's like, oh, I'm under the gun. I had a beta group of people that were saying, okay, Deb, teach us, teach us. And somebody asked me the same question. I said, you know what? I haven't really learned from any books at all. I just did it. I just did it. I went in there. Now that's me. I'm a person that jumps in. I'm very adventurous. I like to try things. But this group, I think, has books that have helped them. We also have Jennifer Abernathy's Social Media for Dummies. Go on Amazon, read a few reviews. How about this group? What books do you find helpful? Yes, ma'am.
Reveln.
Yeah.
Media driver's license.
Yeah. Are you my lady that I met at Entree?
Yes.
Yeah, all right. I won a social media certificate because I got number 2 in Entree Slam last month. So, hey, that's a shout out to Entree Slam. That's another great place to connect with business people and talk social over drinks and food and have a fun evening. So, so there's that too. So books maybe. If you're a book reader, there's a number of them, Derek's book. And then if you're a jump in by the seat of your pants person, I like to learn from blogs and just by talking to people online.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Let's give Deb Nystrom a big round of applause. Thank you very much. Yeah, there's an app called the Twitter book, which is pretty cool, but it's like an app. It's a book app. And also, I agree with Deb. I think a lot of the blogs that are out there, you can read about how to improve your Twitter. So now we go into introductions. So everybody gets to introduce themselves, which is always very exciting. We ask that you please stand up tall and proud and project when you speak so we can hear you. And tell us who you are and your company. And if you're looking for something, if you're hiring or looking for work or anything, you can tell us about that. And then we'll just go all the way around the room. So we'll start up front.
Loretta Friend from Detroit Public Television, and I help people connect with an audience that is 50 plus, affluent, highly educated.
Good afternoon, Dr. Thomas Blackwell, principal owner of Impel International, and I'm looking for anybody who's interested in sales and marketing.
Hank Zampa, affiliate of N21 Corp. And we show people how to get paid for what they spend on a monthly basis to run their household with a system called iCommerce. Very successful, over $11 billion operation. So if you're interested, come see me, Hank Zampa.
Hi, I'm Linda Skemp. I'm with Shine Market Brand Strategy, and I help companies and their products shine in the marketplace.
Hello, my name's Marie. I'm just here to start my growing business for film photography. Hi, everybody. I'm Beth Simon. My company is Taproot Marketing, and I work with small businesses on their marketing plans and strategies. And as a solo business owner and operator, I'm always looking to connect with other people who have complementary or similar skills to my own for collaboration.
I'm Stacy with Dollar Bill Printing, your local digital print shop. We help you get things done fast, efficient, and cost effective.
Hi everybody, my name is Jim Musial and I work in web and mobile development. I work with companies and entrepreneurs to help you develop an online strategy.
And I'm Sheila Dogan with Senior Helpers here in Ann Arbor, and we provide caregivers to seniors aging in place in the local area. And a spot for Dollar Bill Printing, we use them and they do a great job.
And I'm David Campbell. I am the owner of ZA Fitness LLC, and I also train at one-on-one club. So if you're looking to get in best shape of your life, come and see me, and I will help you sweat it off.
So why do I have to go after the fitness coach? My name is Leslie, and I'm with Let's Go Social Media Marketing and Training. Thanks, Deb. Yeah. And as she mentioned, Entre Slam is tomorrow evening. Actually, it's Techno Slam this week over at Live from 6 to 9, and I'll be featuring some of the best new tech companies in the area, and it's co-sponsored by Spark this month.
Hi, I'm Joyce Williams. I'm the Public Affairs Manager for Huron Valley Ambulance. We're your local, community-owned, nonprofit, nationally accredited ambulance service. And I hope you never need us, but if you do, we're there.
Hi, my name is Jordan Beecham, and I work with Dexter Builders, and I like coming here, just broadening my knowledge on social media, because that's what I'm trying to help them out with. And apparently you guys all have perfect homes, because nobody really comes and talks to me back here.
You gotta move up there.
I'm the back. I'm the listening kind of guy. Listen, I think I learned about that today, listening. But yes. So if anybody has any questions about spring cleaning or spring sprucing up your homes, come back and see me, or just come hang out.
Hi, I'm Tom Crawford. You heard me earlier. So don't forget, today's the last day to sign up for half off at the conference. After that, it's full price. So besides that, I also am an app developer, and if you haven't downloaded it yet, definitely go do that. It's called Happy Hour Deals. It's for iPhone. It'll let you find a deal on your favorite drink close to you right now, which there are 4 happy hours within walking distance of here right now. And there are 55 at 5 o'clock if you want to wait and do it with the rest of everybody else. So check it out, Happy Hour Deals.
Hello, my name is Josh Jones. I'm an experienced analyst, and I'm looking in to get to marketing research. And I'm here today because a lot of people said I should probably try to put some thoughts into Twitter, and I definitely got some good ideas. So thank you.
Hi, Jim Elliott, automotive digital marketer.
My name's Justin Gibson, and here's a little song I wrote. I actually don't sing, but I do work with Sandler Training, and we help companies optimize their sales process.
Susan Harris.
Hi, I'm Krisha. I am interning at Ingenix, digital marketing, and a public relations master's student.
I'm Roger Rayle. I'm a venture catalyst, and I help with a lot of networking groups around. Tomorrow, A2B3 will be here on its roaming after losing Eastern Accents as a meeting place. So we're moving around to different restaurants every Thursday at lunch, so we'll be in here tomorrow. So come tomorrow if you are interested in any kind of local networking there. Also tomorrow night, Concentrate Media will be in here with the program. And let's see what else is going on. I started this video meetup group, which is going strong. Our next meeting is 2 weeks from tonight. So go to A2VIG, Ann Arbor Video Interest Group, and you can sign up. TEDx, yeah, I think it's too late to sign up for TEDx.
I don't know. It is.
Yeah, I think it's too late. I'm going to TEDx, but then after the after party, I'm marching down to the full moon. Speaking of full moon, fools are needed. Any fools? They need volunteers to help with full moon Friday night. Basically, it's all day Friday to help with the full moon luminary march, and also April, the 2 days later, April 7th, Sunday, is Festivals. Be right down Main Street here with hundreds of really big puppets, animated puppets. Great family activity, or even if you don't have kids, just come and it's a great Ann Arbor event. So both of those activities need some volunteers. So if you get some time either of those days, a couple hours, go to the festivals.org site and sign up.
I am Dave Menzo with Move Communications. I made the mistake of looking at the flash while it was going off, so I just see green right now, so if I'm not actually looking at anyone, excuse me. We move your brand forward with impact through storytelling, so if you're interested in that, come talk to us.
I'm Lauren Stewart. I'm an intern with Move Communications, and today's actually my first day. So I look forward to meeting you all and start building some relationships.
My name is Peter, and I'm a web developer at Move Communications.
My name is Bud Gibson. I am not at Move Communications. I created the search marketing program at Eastern Michigan, and I have an ask today. We are doing advanced planning for our November workshop, and we are looking for a new venue west of 275 with Ann Arbor as sort of the western boundary, pulled mainly from Washtenaw, and Western Wayne. So if you have locations that you've had events at, about 150 people or so, liked it in the past, I'd like to hear about it.
Hi, I'm Lauren Schneider. I'm the social media coordinator at Ingenix and also one of your live tweeters.
And I'm Erin O'Neill. I am the content producer at Ingenix and one of the live tweeters.
I'm Sheila Sanders. I'm an immunologist, and I've been told that there are 5 jobs in the whole wide world that I qualify for, and I have been contacted by LinkedIn, and now I'm no longer afraid of social media.
Hi, I'm Mary Lou with LA2M. Deb, thanks. That was a really valuable talk. I know that everyone here got something worth taking away with them from that talk, and glad to have you all here. We have just a couple more spots for speakers for this season. So if you can recommend a speaker for us, I'd be interested in talking with you about that. We also have just one more sponsorship for this season, the month of June. So if you know someone who would be interested in that, talk with me about that as well. And Carter?
Can I make a quick comment? Yeah. I just want you to know that my pal Dabney Laporte, I didn't know she was out there, but she has been tweeting and she sent me a gorgeous, lovely message, direct message. If you come up afterwards, I'll show it to you because she sent it to me. Anyway, she's got 50,000 followers that were not bought, and she does social media for the Ricky Lake Show. And it's just lovely to connect with people like that. So, hey, it works.
I am Carter Sherlin from Project Studios. I'm a commercial editorial and portrait photographer. I think I pretty much shoot everything except for weddings. I think I've said that one in a while. Events, sports, products, portraits, all the kinds of things you should have on your website. Shoot for
visuals.
Visuals, yes. I shoot for a lot of running too, so I brought some Michigan runners with me if anybody's interested in Dexter and Arbor applications, which also have my picture I shot of them. And these images that I shoot at the meeting will go on the Facebook page sometime in the next couple hours. So go find the group's page and want to tag your pictures.
Thanks, Carter. Yeah, here's the Dexter and Arbor flyer and the Michigan Runner magazine. There's some copies up here, all you people, the runners, Zonic Fitness. You guys can come grab these. So, yeah, thanks for coming on, Derek. I guess I introduced myself already from Ingenix Digital Marketing. Great talk. Very enjoyable, fun, and so next week we have Chris Weckner, who's going to be talking about 3 ways to maximize, do online videos. So anyone that wants to do more video marketing, Chris is going to have some really great tips next week. And I just looked that up on my LA2M to Go app, which you all should have if you have an iPhone. So anyways, I think we're done. Thank you, Deb, and go out and make some money. Have a great week, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for coming.